I have one question for you, Lee. You refer to this as a concept plan, but really you're asking us to grant a major site plan approval based on this concept plan. Is that correct? And
That's
the
correct.
staff
You
would
don't
be the
have
only
the
ones to-
detailed engineering that you've gotten for the original one. Things shifted 20 feet, so there are going to be some minor changes. Mr. West has looked at the grading and the drainage of the original and how this may impact it. Nothing rose to a concern that he would advise you don't approve it until he sees it, but he does need to see it, and what we're suggesting is that you delegate to him that review.
I mean, I feel a little bit uncomfortable, approving an application with a concept plan as the basis, but other people will say how they feel about it.
I guess it's really an amendment to the original plan in conceptual form, and they still need to satisfy conditions in order to get final approval. I mean, this would be preliminary and
But
final, but there's
this
still
is the last
conditions.
we'll see of this application.
Say that again?
This is the last we'll see of this
That's right.
application,
Mhm.
if we approve it.
And what are you suggesting, that you feel it should come back?
I sort of feel like it should be a full application, just like it was when it came in the first time. But
Well, we did see it pretty thoroughly then, the
Well,
first
we-
time.
we actually, I mean,
There was a full presentation. I guess we didn't discuss it.
we didn't discuss it in detail, and it's changed. And we don't even really know how it's changed because the engineering work hasn't been done yet.
If I could just clarify, that actually is a fully engineered site plan that you're looking at. That's what the plan will look like. What you don't see is the final grading plan, which obviously with the building moving, that
Or
20 feet.
stormwater, or,
Right.
I mean,
But the detention basin stays the same. Obviously, catch basins may move because things were shifted a little bit. But essentially, that's the plan that will be built. And then the landscaping, obviously, that has to be finalized, but that will be reviewed by the landscape subcommittee.
so despite the fact that the building and parking moved up 20 feet, the storm basin has not changed its shape, you're saying?
That's correct.
Given the fact that Mr. Bridges is going to look at it and go over these things, and he is still employed by the municipality, I don't have a problem with making the decision tonight.
I don't either, but David, tell me what what are you worried about? It's unusual, I think. I mean, is there a specific, can you give me an example of
It feels
something that...
backwards. I mean, we don't usually grant site plan
I know-
approval based on a concept plan. I don't know what's going to change in terms of the engineering. I don't know, Jim,
I
if you
guess
want to
we-
talk to it.
Would it make a difference if we did what Lee provides, but further provide that if the engineering review it demonstrates material changes, that this come back to the board, so that at least you know that it's a formal review without major material elements that affect the site plan. And that gives Mr. West the opportunity to return, to have it come back to the board if he finds that any of the changes materially affect the application.
Okay.
I mean, and in the past, we have during the course of a hearing, required modifications by way of conditions that we don't see at all. I mean, this is a little more major than some of the conditions we impose, but we have imposed conditions that do change the plan we see and require re-engineering.
And there are other conditions we impose that subcommittees see, and I know that the landscape subcommittee was recommended to review the plantings in more detail, which is something else that hasn't been nailed down.
Right, this plan didn't provide all the details that you would normally want to see, so that's why we were recommending it. Similarly, while we think the quantity seems right and the plan looks nice, but we need the details. What's the size of the planting, what's the species, and those typically go to the landscape subcommittee and not back to the full board.
The plan.
Other questions for staff, or if not, we will turn it over to the applicant.
Okay, thank you very much.